On January 5, 2021, our company was established. I learned about the blockchain business long before that. Medicine from now on, about 7 years ago, just like you. I came to believe in blockchain. I learned about this technology. Before that, I was involved in many businesses. And at that time, I was in real estate. While working in real estate, I coincidentally learned about blockchain technology through a friend, and after hearing about it, I considered staking my life on this business. I then redirected everyone from my previous ventures and established a company called Kondor. In January 2021, after founding Kondor, realizing many blockchain projects didn't succeed, I determined to create a company that absolutely wouldn't fall, taking into account various reasons for their failures. When we started, we were a team of 3, including myself and 2 other employees. Now, we have about 40 employees in our company. And including outsourced staff, we're around 60 people. We've grown this much in just over 2 years. All of this became possible thank you to the trust and support of people like you from the very beginning. We've come a long way. Globally. The very beginning. Likewise, Europe, America, according to this, is a fraud or mirage. There were a lot of comments, but in the end, in the world we live in, it's a skill that's necessary and indispensable. That's the situation, as you can see. As you know, the news comes out day by day. You can see a lot of changes. The strong ones, afraid of new things coming in. There's nothing we can do. They don't understand. To understand something new, it was a fear that arose because it was such a long road. Why? Because I don't want to let go of what I have. If I live in a big house, when you look at the small house, fear is what I have. It's the first thing I'm afraid of because I can't take them all. It's because you're used to it. But for those who didn't watch it from the beginning, it's so thankful and happy. So we want to earn more and achieve more. We want to have more. But those who have had it since birth can never let it go. Even if something new comes up, it's a structure that's possible only when something new is under you. But what do you think? The world has changed completely. Why did it change? The internet. It's completely reversed because of the new culture. It's because information is shared. Before, things I knew, it takes a lot of time to be known to others. It's because someone has to go and tell them. The person who teaches you the right thing, in other words. The person who heard the right thing. We can improve, but in the opposite case, as we always say, you can't help but be beaten. But when it became an information society, all of this, what happens when things become transparent? It's not easy to lie. It's not easy not to tell you the right information. But there's another problem. Technology has advanced a lot. Now there's a world where you can't believe the real thing. If someone transforms the same video into something completely different and sends it to you, it looks like it. As technology advances, blockchain technology is an indispensable technology. Why? It prevents forgery. This is a technology that must exist. And there are still many things that have been blocked because vested interests think that this technology should never be told to people who don't know the information. What was the first thing that owners used to Dowhan? They called their servants, as you know. The owner won't let them read. Including our country. The biggest problem with each country's vested interests is that they have to blind this technology so that they can continue to maintain their vested interests. So they have no choice but to kill them until they find a way to maintain their vested interests. So far, so many good companies have collapsed. And because they really know that, they often make money first and then they get out of the growth group. There are only a few companies in Korea that have been holding out so far. Since 2016, 17 Korea's blockchain companies are there were a lot. So many blockchain companies were created, and among them, over time, 90%. It's all gone. We were among the 10% who survived. We survived and brought the completion of this project right in front of me. In the meantime, our company, it's integrated and built. It's been about 2 years since I made this project. I made a lot of platforms. When we first started, there was only one payment system for Konpay here. The first thing I did when I entered the blockchain market was that the biggest advantage of blockchain was that it was a structure in which each other could exchange money by agreement without having to pay brokerage fees. And I felt infinite charm that only one person could not play a joke. Even if we put money on it, the bank would print it on paper. The bank would go bankrupt, shred it all, and get rid of one computer. And all that information would be lost, but it doesn't go away at all. So I was crazy about this technology. So to complete this technology, all the blockchain coins that are available now had fees and were slow. So I decided that I could complete the payment solution only when I solved the speed and fee. So I started developing the main net. So the main net was completed. And a lot of projects were created with the developed main net. In 2021 summer, the mainnet we finished it. We worked really hard. It took about 8 years to complete. At that time, I worked with 3 employees, and one of our engineers was stationed at our company. And I developed this without sleeping. We worked really hard. The friend who developed this technology won 3rd place in the hackathon competition in Korea. It doesn't come out well in the world. But in our company, I told him that your identity must come out in our company, so he is working with his face on. Most engineers don't live with their faces on. He's not the main technician, but there's a main technician. Last year, when we had a forum on Ethereum, our mainnet technician was invited and went. That's how amazing he is. We're working with that friend. That's how we first grew our Konpay on the binding exchange. Actually, Our Konpay was originally preparing to be listed on Coinbase in the US. So we got a $4 million investment from the global exchange in the United States. We received the investment confirmation at the end of April 2022 and sent the related invoice. The invoice was sent to us, and in that situation, the Luna crisis that everyone in our country knows well broke out. In the process of receiving investment and preparing for listing, all investment institutions in the US and Korea were already cleaning up Luna in April. We didn't know. And after the Luna crisis, the listing was cancelled on Coinbase, investment was cancelled, and distrust of the Korean project reached its peak. The person who invested in me. The project I made. The contract I signed in the US. And I dreamed of spending in the US. Was bound to suffer a huge blow. And the listing on the major exchanges was cancelled. So it was a huge era that we couldn't even talk about. It will be listed for the first time on the global exchange Bybit. When we send our document to the Bybit exchange, the Bybit exchange officially told us that Korea project is the first to be listed on Bybit. It was recognized by the global exchange, and that's what we've been running to get listed on the Gate.io exchange and prepare for the rest of the project. That's how I prepared a lot to make a blockchain payment solution, and while I was preparing for the test, another crisis came. There is an opportunity for Paycoin's business to become difficult. So right now, Paycoin has closed its business itself. It's a completely different structure than Paycoin and us. Paycoin bought their own coins and designed them in a structure that only their users could pay at their affiliated stores. Meanwhile, a famous actor named Lee Jung-jae came to advertise and did various things. When I looked at this, the financial authorities saw only one thing. It is easy to launder money if you plan your own coin. Make multi-purpose payments, and if your affiliated store receives the coin and sells it on an overseas exchange. This was the only thing that was good. But it was possible even when we came. So actually, it was a very difficult area for the service to be done. As you know, what is the only reason why Samsung Pay in Korea is not big? Samsung Pay did not succeed in the end, even though it poured a lot of money into it. The only success story of Samsung Pay is that it provides payment modules with Samsungs and is thus successful by credit card companies' card terminals. There is a structure in which Samsung Pay is inserted and paid. If the company makes its own pay, distributes it, and can wash it with its own pay, it will inevitably get caught in the AML issue. So from the beginning, we don't pay for the design with our coins. All coins on the market are converted into our coins and paid. This is the core of our Konpay. When you enter our wallet, all other coins such as Bitcoin and Ethereum are converted into our coins and paid. So we can't launder money. There's no reason to launder money. We don't have any reason to do it because we only need to receive a fee at the time of conversion. So we designed it like that. So we designed it with a structure that allows us to enter the global market. That's why we got certified. Starting with Conpay, VexK Global Vietnam Exchange, an NFT marketplace Con Market, global tourism pay platform VPay, metaverse platform Butterland, and Cambodia Trust Company Finance K. All activities are now available. If you look here, this is our company's corporation. With the exception of Vietnam, we have acquired VASP operators for virtual account exchanges. So, we designed a structure that allows us to operate the exchange payment solution wherever we go abroad.
Thank you very much for not being at Seolung Station.
Thank you. There is one reason why I didn't go to Seolung Station. The first one was too expensive. And the second principle is that in order to develop technology developers have to develop it in a quiet place. However, since Seolung has an easy structure for business, we decided that it was not appropriate for development and settled in Gangdong. I consolidated my company in 2021 and I've now started my blockchain business since 2016. But I consolidated everything in 2022 and became the first blockchain company to be certified as a venture company certification. It was certified as a blockchain payment solution. And in the early days of 2022, the transplantation of blockchain in Korea was very bad. Before the regime changed, President Yoon Suk-yeol made a pledge on blockchain. But it was very unrecognized and it was very difficult for us to get certified as a venture company certification in the process. However, the auditor in charge of certification of venture companies talked with me for 3 or 4 hours at our company. So we talked about the feasibility of our technology. And he looked into all of our technologies himself. And he did the technology, and he wrote it all, so the venture company certification came out. In fact, everyone recognized me. So he did it. And I persuaded him with all my heart. And he also didn't know much about blockchain. But he said he wanted to grow these companies after knowing why it was necessary. Thank you so much to the exciseman in charge. That's how we were certified as a venture company. And we were selected as a protection company for blockchain payment solutions. To explain this, the Korean Intellectual Property Office directly proposes and registers this solution that we have in other countries to allow it to be used in other countries. So the Korean Intellectual Property Office gave us 35 million won and selected it as an international intellectual property protection company. So they are proceeding now. In the process of preparing a lot and preparing our hearts. Our company has been doing a lot of things. Starting with certification of venture companies. If you look here, it's the core motto of our company. Kondor connection. Some of you may know how our company was named. And some of you may not. Our company name is Kondor. A bird called the god of the sky in South America. Most birds fly with a lot of wings to fly. A bird called a condor can fly for a very long time in the air with only a few flaps. So when I saw the bird, I was inspired to make a logo. And Citibank said looked like the bird. I heard that the name Kondor in South America is very similar. So I said let's name the company Kondor. But the problem is that the original English spelling is Condor. If you decide on a mission as it is, it starts with C and the nuance is weak. So I looked it up, and in German, it's called Kondor, and Kondor he was writing his name. That's why I named it Kondol and changed C to K. So I thought that 2 letters would have an impact rather than 3 letters in Korean. So I looked it up in German. And it said that it starts with K and reads it as Kondol. So I named the company Kondor. So the connection originally starts with the letter C. But I changed it to K after the abbreviation of our company Kondor. That's why we're in solidarity with Kondor Connection. That's how we use it as our core motto. So most of our projects start with K. That's why we named our mainnet coin Konpay. In fact, this Konpay came out much earlier than it was when it established the Kondor. Kondor's Konpay's Kon is an abbreviation. I should try to do a good business while running a blockchain business. Running a blockchain business. I thought I should make a proper project. So the acronym for Kon is King, of, and You. I named it Kon. So, with the feeling of becoming a new king in the coin and blockchain world. Konpay was born after the abbreviations of King, of, You. That's how our company got a name like this. Modu da Yongyaleul Sikyasiabnida. This is the core project of our platform right now. Blockchain payment solution. Konpay. And Kon Market, NFT market. And it is a tourist pay that can be easily used by charging and exchanging money in both directions between Korea and Vietnam. This Konpat has a band company called KSNet in Korea. There is a sub-Pixar, KSM+, right under the band company. And you can easily make blockchain payments through PG of that plus, which is a platform created after collaborating with us. So, the test has been completed in Korea. But it is not being implemented now due to the institutional aspects of Korea. We are planning to conduct it in the second half of this year without an open evaluation on the Vietnamese exchange. In fact, we was going to execute the payment of the Konpay blockchain first, but to explain in detail, I was going to proceed with VPay on our website. However, it is the same in Korea and Vietnam, but the institutional foundation for the blockchain has not been established. So we will proceed with Tourism Pay first, and our Konpay will be included as a source allowance for Tourism Pay. All coins will be charged with our Konpay. If you look here, you can see our Kon market. This Kon market is a non-fungible token called NFT, as you may know. It's a platform where you can save all of your paintings and all of these things on the blockchain and check the original author can be identified. So the reason why I made this was because I was a small business owner, on 23 older kid. And I started my first business with a towel on the floor. Everyone who did business at that time, in a way. There are a lot of weak people in society. There are a lot of people who earned less than the money we earned while working. I heard that they are the owners. And when others see them, hey, seem like great people like you. But there are so many people who lead very difficult lives. What I felt at that time was that no matter what we try to advertise or promote, large companies can easily advertise and promote. But it is very difficult for small business owners to even promote such advertisements. It's hard to call a celebrity and it's hard to advertise because I made good food. And in the end, it was the most popular advertising method at the time to make a flyer and spray it. The first thing I wanted to do was create this platform and create our blockchain platform. And it was the NFT Con Market platform, where people from the original, producers, singers, entertainers, etc. could easily access the IP ads that everyone has. And we've improved a lot. We started very small. And we had a meeting on the main net. Sold on the main net. Promoted our sales. And made all of these things. And we had a big opportunity to make this and put up a really good IP here. And in the process of saying that small business owners should acquire it, and make it possible to promote it, we invited writer Kim Chung-ki, who made Robot Taekwon V in Korea. He and I signed an exclusive contract to sell NFTs. So, we put your IP on our Con market and sell it exclusively. And ordinary small business owners or those who need your IP can buy your paintings here to promote and advertise. And create various types of things. However, you may know that writer Kim Chung-ki and I signed an IP contract in Korea. And about 3 months later, writer Lee Woo-young of Korea's Black Rubber Shoes. He's someone who changed his fate. This person is the same age as me. He drew a cartoon called Black Rubber Shoes. But he had been fighting with the production company for about 10 years. Even though they made it. They haven't been paid 10 million won for the original work for 10 years. And the people who sold it are making a lot of money. So, he was complaining and talking with us. And we were solving all the things he was suing, and he said, "Let's make it together in this market." I think he took his own life that day after the first trial. So the CEO of our subsidiary, who is in charge of our NFT, wrote all night. He wrote overnight, dispatched, and reported to news articles. He said it was an unfair contract. So he took an unfortunate life, and it became a big issue. And the bill was newly proposed by the National Assembly. When the bill was proposed, Lee Woo-young told us that he had 2 children. His wife and his mother. And his own younger brother. But even his brother mother, and his family were in the process of continuing to sue the producer. So, to raise the legal fees and contribute to their living expenses, we prepared to create a memorial NFT for him at our NFT market, create a fund, and donate it to the bereaved families. While preparing for it, we needed a place to promote it to Cho Rock Bem Media Company, Limited. In the process, we asked Cho Rock Bem media manager Kim to make it bigger, so we made a STO token. And the producer and the original author made a win-win structure. So we signed an MOU with Cho Rock Bem Media in April. Konmarket has now partnered with the Korean Animation Artists Association last month. So the Animation Writers Association, Producers Association and Kondor Konmarket will publish the STO token at the end of this year. So, 16 works by animation artists will be voted on at our Konmarket. And 16 production companies that are working with Cho Rock Bem Media will produce and broadcast them sequentially. In addition, the STO token is designed to allow us to participate in funding and share the profits from it among those who participate in funding. It also created a very big deal in order to make payments through offline payment PG terminals in Korea and Vietnam. VPay conducted a business partnership with the Vietnam Tourism Administration in Korea in January 2022. We prepared a lot while deciding on blockchain. But we agreed to make a payment solution that anyone can easily approach before making blockchain payments with Korea and Vietnam. So we went to the Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism in Vietnam and approved it. Last year, Korea and Vietnam celebrated the 30th anniversary of Korea-Vietnam when the Minister of Culture, Sports, and Tourism in Vietnam came to Korea. Our company Kondor made an exclusive protocol. The Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism in Vietnam visited our company during the protocol, advertised our company, actively supported tourism payments, and the Minister of Culture, Sports and Tourism entered Vietnam and connected the state-run PG company in Vietnam to us. Actually, this tour pay is a big deal. Korea's BC Card has started a business partnership with the state-run PG in Vietnam to dominate the payment market in Vietnam. Nevertheless, we are still unable to provide the service. You can't even pay in the evening in Vietnam with the module that BC Card has. Vietnam and other underdeveloped countries in Southeast Asia still have less than 1% credit card penetration. Korea is the only country in the world that uses the most credit cards. Well, the same goes for the United States and the same goes for Europe. There are not many countries that can use credit cards like Korea. Therefore, in the case of China, app-to-app smartphone pay, not credit cards, is so active from the beginning. Currently, the Vietnam use Market also uses about 70% of PhonePe. If you open the app and take a QR code, you can just pay. If you turn off your credit card, it's as if your credit card is hanging up with an old phone communication modem in Korea. You have to have an account. You have to have a close branch. And the problem is that it's not easy to have that infrastructure on that large block of land. So simply paying with a smartphone has to be distributed much faster. And credit cards haven't been distributed itself. So naturally, as technology advances, technology in transition is not used and it goes straight to new technology. By the way, Korea has the most optimized test area for IT and all industries around the world. So we are the only country in the world that has good delivery. As a result, in Korea, where the payment market is traditionally well aligned, pay app payments are not being made much more. The only part of that payment is online payment. But overseas, offline payment is much more active than online. In underdeveloped countries, communist countries, the flow of money is controlled by the state. We do not create a framework that can autonomously roll the flow of money like in Korea. Why? Because money is power. So 95% of all payments in Vietnam come from a state-run PG company in Vietnam called Napas. I pay through there, exchange money through there, and transfer foreign currency through there. However, Napas and we signed a business agreement to develop a solution for payment. In Napas, I know that a company called Kondor is qualified to create a payment system with the Vietnam Tourism Administration in Korea. But it is a state-run business. So they suggested bringing a bigger company. That's actually true. So we received an offer from Hana GLN International, an affiliate of Hana Bank's Hana Financial Group, and Samsung Card last week. So Samsung Card officially suggested to us that we pay for the tour together. As a result, Hana GL sent him a proposal first, but since he said he was from Samsung Card, Hana GL also received another official letter saying let's do it first because it was on fire at the top of her foot. We decided to get an answer from Hyundai Card this week. We shall be waiting for you. So, our tourism pay will start paying at the national level, including credit card companies and payment companies in Korea, Kondor, and Napas. A state-run PG company in Vietnam. Blockchain payments must be received through KonPay. This is the structure that we've been dreaming of and have been trying to create. Actually, as you know, the most difficult thing when there is a pay company and a payment company is recruiting merchants and recruiting users. However, it is very, very difficult for ordinary, private companies to recruit merchants and recruit users. So when recruiting franchisees one by one, the company has collected 50,000 won, 30,000 won, or 10,000 won, 20,000 won for each user. This is the current payment market. But our KonPay didn't do that. With the activation of this tourism pay and the promotion of tourism agencies in both countries that invest in tourism pay, we naturally made all our blockchain payments through this module. Isn't it amazing so far? Like that, we are preparing a payment solution with the state-run PG in Vietnam. It's confirmed. If you look here, you can see Director Kim Chung-Ki's Alien V. If you look here, it's an NFT market called Wallet. A Line City on Naver. A total of 12 Naver subsidiary lines are on the NFT market. If you look here, they're incredible companies and they're equipped with our platform. It's confirmed on July 20th. And after Alien V is sold, our Con market will be listed on the Line City Naver Wallet. This platform now has about 5 million users worldwide, and it can be considered that all payments are made with Naver Line coin within this platform itself are made with. Our Con market goes up and you can buy it through our Corn mainnet. Isn't he passionate? All the projects listed here can only be bought with Line coin. But our platform is the only one that can be purchased with our coins. This is the VEX-K exchange of the Mainpoint Kondor project. I opened the door on May 15th, and everyone who was here with me told us all the things and errors that our exchange is connecting to for the first time in the world. And we've got 95% of those errors now. Our exchange is 100% different from the exchange you have thought of so far. Our exchange is an exchange where you can make money with equity capital without users. We put a lot of effort into making this solution. And this idea came up about 5 years ago, but it hasn't been realized in the meantime. And we finally realized that. I talked a lot with my staff about whether this solution works or not. In the process of talking about it, the moment it came true, I cried tears of joy. I shed tears of gratitude to myself that I really did it. Usually on our VEX-K exchange, if you buy and sell coins on the exchange, I have to pay a commission to buy and sell them. But we designed our exchange to be able to make a lot more profit then I would pay a commission. How is that possible? Binance is now on the world's profitable exchange. The Binance exchange currently trades almost 80% or more of its current trading in Binance. So there was an issue this time. The SEC filed a complaint against Binance US. It was in the name of destroying the U.S. market. But there was an article a few days ago. It was no problem to operate in the U.S. Why? In the end, both the United States and China need money to move the country. This can't be helped. Who gives the countries money? Its citizens. The people work hard and take the people's money in various names and distribute it as if it were their money. I'm sure it's the same for all of you. I also love Korea so much. I love Korea and I hope this country where I live will do very well. And I want to live in this country forever. I hope that this country will not just say that it understands the real people, but listen to each and every one of the people. It's just that it's natural for the people to pay for the country. And it's so heartbreaking that the state is spending a little kindness on the people as if they've done a very big thing. Have you ever made money from apes buying stocks in the stock market? Have you ever made a lot of money when the government told you to do it? I want the state to tell the people. Really, 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 really proper information. And they're monopolizing that little piece of information. Because if you don't do that, the people will win the country. However, the state is a structure in which the people should never win over the state. Unfortunately, this can't be helped. It's the same in the U.S. Coin illegality or SEC reports a lot. But it's not happening in the end. Why? There is no agreement in the face of money to move the country early. China completely closed the coin market 5 years ago. But how much money went into China 5 years ago? This is a fact that we know very well. At that time, Binance was the place where the most coin transactions took place in the world. That's how Binance opened up all the exchanges in every country in the world. In Korea alone, more than 150 trillion won was bought from Korea with a very credit card and went abroad. The money was sold in Binance. But what about China as Binance sweeps away? It's not easy for money to come out anymore, and the money that was there is going backwards, so everything is closed. And then, 5 years later, China has returned Hong Kong. And he announced that he would make Hong Kong a blockchain hub in name only. They gestured to come to Hong Kong in front of Coinbase in the US. It's a great country. It's so amazing that I get goosebumps. So the United States is on fire. And they're all saying that it's the only hope that underdeveloped countries can stand up. So Vietnam and Cambodia, where I went, don't know about coins, but I agree. what the people above them say in unison. Will change like this in the future. But we still do the same, so we have to prepare. In Korea, we're preparing a lot. And there's no one who doesn't do. Coins. I was surprised. In fact, the Financial Services Commission has now designated a project that started in Korea recently that it cannot be listed on the Korean exchange. But now, coins in Korea are secretly listing one by one in Korea after going abroad. How did they go public? I've been in the blockchain situation for a long time. I've met a lot of people. And I'm one of the few people alive in the industry so far. So I had a lot of opportunities to meet people like that. Now I'm meeting some lawmakers and some people who are moving them. Some people who are moving them. Some people who are moving them. I was really surprised. The friend next to me introduces me to the person who is about to win the nomination. So I was introduced, greeted, and gave you my business card. And after I gave you my business card, I met you for the second time. And you knew it so well. What he did and how he lived, and there's something he says. I have some coins, too. So, he said he had something. What he is also saying is that the Democratic Party of Korea, the people in the National Assembly, who don't have coins, and the people who have to make the exchange with this coin properly and make funds, cannot be made into real estate stocks anymore. The people in the National Assembly. I didn't even think about it before I met them. They really didn't do it. I thought, they really don't do it. They're only going to work hard for the real business. But they completely changed my mind. He gives me the information. It gives you real information. You have to do this to your opponent. I was surprised. I really want to run a business properly and I hope I don't get caught up in political issues like we made. Or the Kim Nam-guk incident, so I don't go this way. I don't go that way. Why? I don't want to be swept away because I'm a businessman. So what I'm saying now is the same. If there's anything missing in the project, I'll fill it in instead. Please look at me with the right eyes and help me. This is what I hope so. That's how things are going. Let's move on. If it comes out like this when you search for Binance, it looks similar to our exchange. But if you look here, it's the same. The charts are all the same. And this is the Binance exchange and this is the VEX exchange. This is what came out of the concept of a bank broker in our country. If you look here, the transaction details are the same, but if you look here, there's a spot, and there's no one here. This is proof that you can't make a direct transaction. This is definitely the difference. It's the same. But if you look here, there's a Binance spot and there's a VexK spot. Too, it's marked the same as the account. Surprisingly, it's the same here. But we can't do direct transactions. If you want to make a direct transaction, you have to go to Binance and pay a commission to make a transaction. Or you have to make a separate transaction on the P2P exchange to go to the spot transaction. That's the difference between us and other exchanges. On the Internet, customers buy the same thing at this price. But when we buy matching engines, we buy them cheaper than here. We buy them cheaper than here. We have this difference. This is the advantage of our matching engine. So if you buy it for 1,000 won, we'll buy it for 990 won. We'll buy it and do the same thing as you bought it for 1,000 won. And we'll make a profit with our company. The more you take charge of the transaction, the more profit you get. It doesn't matter if you buy a lot of coins and earn money or win first place. It's a structure that makes us profit. This is the advantage of our matching engine. It's not just spot trading, it's also futures trading. So we have a structure where we can make a profit if we have money without a user. If you trade 1,000 won a day, you will get a profit for 1,000 won, and if you trade for 2,000 won, you will get a profit for it. Of course, you could lose it. If we can't buy and sell at that price because it's not a sharp drop, but a sharp rise, we'll be able to buy and sell at that price. So I won't get the money, but I won't lose it. So that's the advantage of our exchange. So, when the derivative futures of our exchange are open, someone decided to put funds into our exchange. Do you know how much it is? It's 450 billion. 450 billion that was supposed to go into Gopas will go into our exchange. We developed this solution 5 years ago. There was an exchange called DEX, the first decentralized exchange in Korea. This exchange was created by the senior members of the Financial Services Commission in Korea by investing about 2 billion won. For your information, those key friends who participated in technology development are working with us now. At the time, they developed technology. I was struggling with money. The reason why I am struggling with financial difficulties is that since Korea's first decentralized exchange was established, I paid the exchange fee and paid another fee on the internet. But because it was a decentralized exchange, it became very safe. It was a very safe structure because you can store your coins in your personal wallet. Not in a centralized exchange right now. But after paying the double fee, from the customer's point of view, there was a regret why I had to pay another fee. As a result, users do not gather. So there is not much transaction volume, so I was struggling with money. And looking at it, I decided that the technology itself was too good. And I suggested that we need to create liquidity to overcome that technology. But to create that liquidity, The exchange had to have a lot of money or a lot of coins. But that's impossible, so what I suggested at the time was the API. The person who developed this matching engine and I were preparing with the suggestion that if we link API to the well-known centralized exchange and we sign the product first and settle it later, it would be enough to make profit by making the transaction liquidity. While preparing this, I funded 100 million won from somewhere else. But it ended up closing after less than 3 months. I closed the door. I solved the money. And I started another project. In the middle of starting another project like that, about a year or 2 later, they came back to our company. Because it was all sorted out and there was no place to go. So, you're developing it with us, so the gear is complete. And the engineers who developed it tell me every day these days, "Thank you for waiting for us." So I was able to make it. Whenever I hear that, I'm so happy and thankful. As such, our exchange prepared with certain differences and opened the beta. In general, you can never create it with the idea of creating an exchange and gathering a lot of users to make a lot of transaction rooms and making a lot of commission profits. How can the coin exchange that's out there win all the popular Binance, Upbit, Coinbase, Bithumb that we have right now? To win, to catch up with them. You can never catch up unless you have an idea that doesn't have something they don't have. So I thought a lot about it to keep up with them. And it's a platform that we've worked hard to create our own solutions that can run simulations and match them. The more you can join us on this exchange and Kondor, the better our Kondor will be. And our exchange is currently preparing in 2 VASP sectors in 4 countries. The business we have is a business that can run an exchange and do a blockchain business. And I will come to our country next year. Only the exchange that connects to this exchange, so Korea and other countries will have our own exchange that fits the travel rule. We're not going to do the Bithumb structure that Upbeat does. But we're going to bring people from all over the world to our country. I dream of bringing money from abroad to Korea, so that the people of our country can become a great company and have great assets. Not going abroad. For the first time, we're going to promote a lot globally. It's possible if you're here with us. I will make a structure where our Kondor does not start in Korea, but it starts overseas, so that Korean people can come into Korea and people in Korea can share their profits with overseas capital. Our exchange is preparing various products. We will share a lot of profits with you through these many products. And as we said before, our exchange wants to share with you when users make transactions and collect the transaction fees. We operate with the financial power of those who have a lot of funds. And we create a structure that we can share together. I think that's a real return. Even if I don't work, I will make a structure where money that creates capital on my own makes money. What you see now is a roadmap for each company. I met CEO Kim, who was sitting behind us with just one roadmap paper. I'll grow a coin on the exchange and make the rest. Trust me and be with me. The person I said is CEO Kim sitting behind me. Please give him a round of applause. And CEO Kim said, "Okay, let's go together." And it was CEO Park who came with us. Thank you for trusting me and coming with me until now. And I did my best to keep that promise. And finally we're going to keep that promise. And we're going to open the beta. And by the end of July, the derivation will open. And I'm going to put 450 billion of the money that goes into GoPax on our exchange, and we're going to make a profit out of it. Thank you so much to my staff, who are always up all night looking for errors. One solution I came up with. One of my own to build the wealth I dream of. One of my employees who believed in me. And myself, who was able to speak confidently with a piece of paper. I'll keep my promise. And I'm going to share it with you. Feel free to tell me what I'm lacking. And I'll work hard to make a better solution and make a better profit. It's not my personal interest, but my desire to grow into a really cool platform company in Korea with you. I want to make it with you until the end. Please be with us. Help us. And be with us. Thank you.